Welcome to this edition of Keeping It Rich with Sakina. I'm Sakina, and you are Keeping It Rich. So, today we're going to jump into talking about stocks at a glance. I like to talk about that. We haven't talked about it in a while. This is May 2025, and the stock market is actually going up. So, that's good news for everybody that was very nervous and uptight over the last few months. As we saw, 3 month outlook in March, the stock market closed on its lowest day at 5,500. In April, it closed even lower at 4,900. So that was a drop of 600 points. And when you compare April's lowest of 4,900 to where we are today in May, we're now up 5,900, which is up 1,000 points. So to put this into context for you, when you're talking 600 points, 500 points, 1,000 points, that's huge. It is a lot. If it sounds like a lot, it is a lot. Because to put it in context for you, the market closed today over yesterday. The S&P 500 closed today up 6 points over yesterday. So 6 points is more comfortable. Those are normal numbers. When you start talking about double digits and triple digits, um, there's a problem. The market is kind of going off kilter. We're like, what's happening? Like, ooh, we're over here, and then ooh, we're over here. I saw a meme that said that was America under this new administration. I think that actually is very fitting. So yes, but at a glance, where we are today is we're on the upside. The market for the 1 year overall compared to last year, May 2024, compared to May 2025, the market is up 12%. So basically, if you had $1,000 in the market last year and you look at it today, you should be up 12%. You should have $1,112. So we are in a good place. That is the good reason for not freaking out when the stock market goes down. And you should just leave the money there, let the market weigh itself out. Of course, the fifth key to keeping it rich is that you should have a financial advisor who can actually advise you. I am not one, but I do advise that you get one. I have a couple people that I speak to about my accounts if I really am concerned, but I have them in guided accounts. So you have accounts that are just be guided through whoever your brokerage firm is. And there are professional stockbrokers that are actually watching the market and they're buying and selling for a whole group of retail folks versus just one individual. So you shouldn't be trying to be a stockbroker, right? Which is the next thing I want to talk about because people have this thing where they feel like, they're so nervous about actually investing in the first place that they're like, before I can actually buy anything in the stock market, I need to get a coach. I need to go through a workshop. I need to have a masterclass. I need to pay thousands of dollars to an influencer to explain to me what I need to invest in. And you don't need to do that. You are not trying to become a stockbroker. You don't need to do that. It's just like you need to get your house painted. You do not need to go and take every tutorial on how to paint a house. You need to find you a house painter to come and paint the house. So when you need to invest in the stock market, you can even go to your local bank. Usually they have financial advisors who are there, people who are certified, have their Series 63 license and can actually invest into some stocks for you or Series 6 or Series 7, whether they're selling insurance or just stocks in general, securities. So there are people who have gone through these certifications who can make these decisions for you. You do not need to feel like you have to know how the stock market works in order for you to invest in the stock market. You just need to hire a professional, someone who has their certifications to buy and sell stocks for you. You can even buy individual stocks through even Cash App these days. If you're like, oh, I just want to buy XYZ stock because I like this company, and you can take a look at it and see how it's doing. The same way I sit here and look at my stock chart, you can go to Yahoo Finance, for instance, or anywhere, and look at the performance of the stock, and it'll tell you it's a chart. It go up and it go down, and if you see down, that means it went down, and it go up, that means it went up. It's kind of basic. It's math. If it says it's 5,000 points today and it was 4,000 points yesterday, that means that it went up today. You look at the 5 year performance and you go, oh, over the 5 years, this stock has been going like this and this and this. but overall it's going up, then that's what that means. So it's kind of basic. If someone else says, well, I'm investing in this and I'm going to tell you what I invested in so you can invest in this, that might not work for you because you need to invest in things that you feel comfortable investing in. The first thing your financial advisor is going to ask you is a series of questions to figure out your risk tolerance, whether you are conservative or moderate, risk adverse, or very risky, which is aggressive, is what it's called. And so I'm pretty aggressive, which is risky. And so that means you invest in a stock that might not be as stable, which means that it could go up really high and it could go down really high, down really low. So you got to have a strong stomach to see that, oh my God, this stock was worth $2. Well, I won't say $2. It was worth $200 yesterday, and now this stock is worth $50 today. Because $200 yesterday and $50 today means it's now worth $150 less. Some people can't handle that, right? So you probably want a more stable stock that just moves like, hey, it was $50 yesterday, it's $52 today, $48 tomorrow, $52 the next day. You know what I mean? So your financial advisor will find out if you're that person, that moderate person, or that really conservative person, or if you're that really risky, aggressive person that's like, no, I want my money to move fast. So that's why you have financial advisors to help you get through that part. But you do not have to become a financial advisor. You do not have to become the most knowledgeable person on the planet to understand how you break down a stock. Like, that's not what you have to do. And what I really believe, people lean in, I really think the reason why you do that is because you're scared, you're nervous, and you feel like I'm just going to keep getting more prepared and more prepared. And eventually, I'm going to be so prepared that I'm going to be able to just push this button and magic's going to happen. That after I take the right number of classes and the right number of workshops and the right number of coaching sessions, then all the stock market genius is just going to start happening. Like, then all of a sudden, I'm going to feel so confident I'm going to open up a stock account and I too am going to make $10,000 in a year. And that's not going to happen. There is no magic bullet. There is no get rich quick scheme. This is the stock market. It goes up and it goes down and it's steady. The stock market is stock in companies. These companies exist, they do well, and they do poorly. They go up and down, and their stock price goes up and down accordingly. So, no matter how many amounts of classes you take, it's not going to help you ever get secure enough to actually leap, launch, and fire and go ahead and start investing in the stock market. The only difference between you and people investing in the stock market is that they're investing in the stock market and you keep talking to people about how to invest in the stock market. So you see the difference? There's somebody doing it and then you're out here trying to learn about it. So if you actually want to do it, you have to actually just launch and fire and do it. I was speaking on a panel a couple of days ago, and it was a great panel, Small Business Week. It was a lot of entrepreneurs there. And after I was moderating the panel, and after I got finished, someone came up to me and one of the other panelists, and she had everything. She was very prepared. She had a QR code for everything, a QR code for her LinkedIn, QR code for one of her product businesses where she makes like body butters and things. And then another QR code for this service business she wants to start, giving people consulting advice. And she said, oh, I have that, I have this. And she was talking about her certifications that she's applying for. And I said, well, do you have customers already? And she's like, no, because I'm still getting prepared, but I'm very prepared. I believe in being prepared. And I was like, I see. And so I said, well, who is your ideal client? Who's your ideal customer? She was like, well, this is what I'm going to provide to them. And this is what I'm going to provide to them. And I was like, okay, but do you know who them are? um, because she was like, well, I'm about to work on that because I'm getting prepared, and she's trying to get her certifications and things. And that's when it really dawned on me. We spend so much time getting prepared and we never launch and fire. We never launch and fire because we feel like I need to make sure I completely understand what I'm doing before I get into this thing. You're never going to completely understand what you're doing until you get into this thing. So if you keep saying, I'm not going to understand until I get into, you're just not going to get there. You're going to be constantly standing on the edge, looking and keep preparing and asking for more advice and thinking, when I go to this panel, when I go to this seminar and I meet these people, then that's going to be my magic bullet. That's going to be my get rich quick button. There is no magic button. There is no get rich quick button. It is just a matter of getting in the game, staying in the game, and keeping it going. Now, for the people that are listening and going, nope, that's not me, I have to be prepared. I have to only do things that are official systems in place to keep preparing. I have to keep signing up for an official course, and I'm going to take every course as long as they keep, issuing courses. I want to offer you this. There is this really tried and true method. There is a learning process technique that is very established, that is known worldwide. And I ask you to then implement this technique. And that technique is called trial and error. Implement trial and error. It is an established, approved, effective learning tool. And what you do is you have to try something and then you have to let errors occur. And then you correct your method based on those errors so that those errors don't occur again. And so you do another trial, correcting the errors that happened the last time. And you keep doing that over and over again. And then you will have perfected your system. So trial and error. In order to do that, you have to actually launch and fire. You have got to go. You got to go. You got to actually invest in the stock market. Go to your bank, find an advisor, say, hey, I really want to start off with $1,000 or $500, and I want to get into the market. So another thing you can do is you can start like on Yahoo Finance. They have these portfolios where you can actually put in fake stocks, not fake stocks, the stocks are real, but it's fake for you because you don't really own it. And you can put in stocks that you think you like, and you can just keep coming back and tracking them. So you can see how's that stock doing today. Oh, wow, look how much money I would have made, or look how much money I would have lost. So you can get comfortable with the concept. And if you happen to be starting a business, since I do panels on that, you should do the same thing. If you feel like I really want to sell these body butters and I've made a bunch of them, I got 20 of them, I got 40 of them, and you're at the expo talking to us about getting certified and things, but you could be sitting in the back actually selling the body butter to me because I love me a body butter. She didn't need, I don't even know what kind of body butter she sells because she wasn't looking for that. She was looking for reference to some more learning techniques, right? To some more certifications, to some more processes and some more systems that she could put in place. And it's like, when are you going to actually start selling your product? When are you going to actually start investing in what you believe in? When are you going to start actually making some money through the stock market? The stock market is one of the number one ways to grow your money. The stock market is tried and true. It constantly has gone up. There are dips all the time, but then we go up and we go up and we go up. I just told you from last year, with all this volatility that we have had from May, before there was ever even a new administration, before there was ever even a new election, May 2024. Then we went through an election. Remember that election? Kamala, Trump, all that. We went through all that. Then we had the inauguration and a new president came in. And then we had tariff talk and then no more tariff talk and then immigration talk. A whole lot of stuff has happened in this year from May 24 to May 25 when I'm sitting here right now talking to you. And the stock market is up through that whole period, up 12% today. So if you had stocks in before all that volatility, and then you never put another nickel in there, and you just let that money sit there, you should be up about 12% because the S&P 500 is up 12%. So that's pretty much going to give you the average of what the stocks are doing in that S&P 500. And you could buy an index fund that mirrors the S&P 500, which can make your life really easy, right? Because then you don't have to do individual stocks. You just do the mutual fund, which is the index of all the stocks that are sampled from the S&P 500. So just launch and fire. If you want to get in the stock market, launch and fire. get in the stock market. Find a financial advisor. Feel free, DM me, hit me in comments or something, and I'll direct you to some financial advisors that I happen to know. I'm not associated with any of them. I don't get anything from them, but I will be more than happy to direct you in the right way that you shall go. Amen. And launch and fire. And if you have a small business, you have a product, you have a service, and you're ready to sell it and get some clients, sell it and get some clients. Launch and fire. Don't just get all freaked out over the news that keeps coming and going and coming and going. All right. All right. Until next time, keep keeping it rich.